Okay, so I just wanted to share another, I guess I would call this a major issue with the Musselbound adhesive. So I went out and cut a tile with a wet saw. Here's the tile. It's completely dry. It's room temperature. Alright? But watch this. It won't stick. Okay? This is the piece. Went ahead and grabbed a fresh tile. Used the scoring machine. Snapped it. Popped it on there. It stuck. This one won't stick. None of the pieces that I cut with the wet saw will stick to this. I don't know if there's some residual dampness in here or not. So what I did was I took this, heated it up over a gas flame in the stove. It's nice and dry, will not stick. So if you're using a wet saw, you might want to consider this a warning. For whatever reason, I'm using a wet saw. The rest of these were not done with a wet saw. I just purchased the wet saw because I was trying to make this go a lot smoother, a lot quicker than having to hand cut each small piece. But looks like that was a voided purchase because they're not sticking anywhere. Not cool. Not cool at all. So I'm going to see if I can find any information out on Musselbound and see what they have to say. But that's a deal breaker, in my opinion, if you can't use a wet saw for tiles and then stick them onto this adhesive matting. If that's the case, this will be the last time I use this product. Alright, just a word of warning. Wet saws, Musselbound. And by the way, how ironic. It's muscle, as in like the muscle. Like barnacles, water. Get it? Not so with Musselbound and wet saws. Okay, I'm done with my rant. Have a good one. Okay, so we finished up the tile. And I resolved an issue that I was having with the Musselbound and using a wet saw. And I did find an area on the website under the FAQ, not in the typical FAQ, but under the contractor section, buried in the bottom of a paragraph that was unrelated, that said using a wet saw would require the use of a hairdryer to ensure that all of the moisture was removed from the tile before placing it onto the Musselbound adhesive. In my case, the hairdryer did not work. Again, I had to use a stove for this porcelain tile, and I just set it down and let it cook for about 2 minutes. It got super hot, so I had to put it aside and let it cool back down, and the moisture was gone enough for it to stick to the Musselbound adhesive. But anyway, we are moving on. We've got all of our outlet extensions installed. Tile is nice and snugly underneath those. Okay, so as I was saying before my camera died, was got the extensions on nicely, and now we are going to get grouting, and we are going to use a gray / charcoal grout for our contrasting of the subway tiles with that darker color. We also have matching caulk that we're going to, I'm actually going to try and fill these seams with grout because they are about 1/4 inch. Just remember that when you're putting in tile that requires it to be cut, you're never going to get the same lengths. they may look the same, but right here you can tell this one's a little bit larger than this one, and that's because of the plumbness of the cabinets. And the issue we were having was that the walls weren't plumb and square to begin with, so we had to adjust to make the cabinetry level. It's just the way that they lined up, so they weren't even all the way up. But anyway, with that said, I wanted to leave a little bit of flex, a little extra than the 1/8 inch on the side. So some spots it got to a 1/4 inch because of miscuts on the scoring snapper, tile snapper, or whatever. But it is what it is. It's going to look fine. You won't even notice it. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the grout, and I'll get back to you. Alright.